Welcome back to Inspired Mornings with myself, Nafisa Dango. And I'm telling you, it's a very interesting topic that we had earlier with Solofelo in Vergenoeg. And we're now going to go into something even more interesting. I'm going to be chatting to Nkoma Admire Mninginisi, a 26-year-old man from Giyani, Limpopo, currently residing in Tembisa. And he's going to be talking to me about his difficulty in life as far as his rheumatoid arthritis is concerned. So let's get him on the line and let's chat to him. A very good morning to you, sir.
Morning, ma'am. Morning, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, and yourself?
I'm all right, thank you. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me, Admire, this morning on the show. A very warm welcome. We want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us about your situation. We know that your difficulty started at the age of 15.
Yes.
Yes. So talk to us about your situation. How did all of this start?
It was back in 2010. I was 15 at that time, and I was back in Limpopo. I think I was in grade 8. My joint just started swelling up from my ankles, and then it grew coming up to my knees, and then also my wrists. And
Right.
then my parents tried looking for medical attention for me. They took me to a hospital back in Giyani, Limpopo, where in the hospital they tried running some tests and trying to find a diagnosis, but they never got a diagnosis. And then
Right.
they later on decided to actually, from the hospital, they decided to transfer me to a hospital in Polokwane. So when they transferred me to a hospital in Polokwane, they thought maybe there was a problem, maybe with my kidneys or the heart or the liver or something within the inside. So in Polokwane, they ran some tests, and then all the tests they came back showing that everything is normal. There was nothing wrong with my kidneys or heart or anything. So
Right.
they couldn't give me a diagnosis. So I went back home. I continued with my studies, and it was not easy to a level where I actually failed my grade 10. I had to repeat my grade 10 and stuff. Then later on in 2014, my parents decided to say, okay, fine, let's bring him this side. So at least maybe we can try to seek medical help for him where he's actually closer.
Right.
So I came this side in 2014. They tried looking for help 2014, 2015, then there was no help. And then in 2016, that's where someone came and then referred us to a doctor in I think it's in Joburg. When they
Yes.
referred us to a doctor in Joburg, they asked the doctor actually did run some tests and then tried to do some checkup, and then she diagnosed me with something they call it rheumatoid arthritis. So on that hospital, the fees were like very high. So the doctor decided to say, okay, fine, let me just transfer you to Joburg Hospital, which is Charlotte Mateke, and then I will see you
Yes.
from there. So I went there, and then she saw me from there. She put me under a treatment, a medication. I took the medication from that year, 2016, 2017, 2018, and there was no help. Instead of the situation getting any better, it's like there was always a new development of new symptoms. Because when it all started, my face was not like this. It was actually fine. But then later on, late in 2018, my eyes started swelling up. Started with the eyes, and now the face started changing, slowly aging. Uh, and then I had to drop the treatment in 2018. And then someone came again, referred me to another doctor here in Cape Town Park. I went there. It was in 2019. When I went there, and then they tried to run some tests and everything. The test came back. They showed that my blood levels were actually very low.
Right.
And then, but the doctor didn't really know what was the problem. But then he only suspected that I might be having something called iron deficiency syndrome.
Mm-mm.
But then he couldn't actually describe any medication or put me any other under any medication at that time, because he was actually confused because there was a lot of symptoms. So, but then that's the only thing he only picked out from the tests.
Mm-mm.
So in 2020 last year, I went further looking for help, but then there was no help up until this year, and then to a point where now this year last week, I think it was
Mm.
Thursday, I decided to say I actually sat down with my father. We spoke about the issue, so we decided to say, okay, fine, why don't we just try to take this issue out to the people, so that maybe they can actually, someone out there can actually come up with a solution, or might have went through the same situation, so they can actually refer us to someone who actually knows what exactly might be my condition.
Right. I think that is a very good idea, because the thing is, as you're saying, besides your rheumatoid arthritis, your iron
Mhm.
deficiency is also something that needs to be looked at. Um, Nkoma, how does it make you feel? Because I mean, you say you feel as though you were deprived of your youth, and having
Mhm.
a good time like young people do always. I mean, because this has set you back in many ways, and I'm sure it has. Talk to us about the way you feel about that, and we want people to understand why it is that whoever's out there listening can maybe try and help you
Mhm.
out in some way by advising you what it is that you can do or where you can go.
Okay. Uh, as I said before, that back in high school, I had to actually repeat my grade 10, and that was not because maybe I'm not intelligent or something, but then it was actually starting to affect me intellectually. So I had to
Mm,
repeat, and then another thing, in 2015 I was doing my metric, but then I
mm,
couldn't actually make it on my metric. I never passed my metric. But then in 2016, I took the gap year. A gap year, I was just staying at home, focusing on my health. That's where I got the doctor.
right.
And then in 2017, I went again to a college, it's EWC college, where I enrolled for a course, an NCV course, because I really wanted to actually do something with my studies and my life. So I went there, I took the course, it was for 3 years. The first year it was fine. I actually managed to pass my first level with 4 distinctions out of 7 subjects. And then the second
Wow.
year, because every time it was like there was new symptoms developing. So on the second
Yes.
year, uh, instead of things getting better, they were getting worse. And then I also passed my second year, but then it was with 2 distinctions this time. And then my
Right.
last year, which was 2019, now the issue of the face was now growing much worse. I passed and completed my NCV, but then on my last year there was no distinction. So it was like
Right.
the more the condition was growing, the more I was actually losing myself some way somehow.
Mm, mm.
So there's a lot of
And
stuff which.
and
Mhm.
and let's talk about the way you feel. With your eyesight. Can you see properly?
I lost your voice. I can't hear you
Oh,
now.
okay. Okay, let's just
You can,
repeat that question. I wanted to know about your eyesight. Is it affecting your eyesight as well, Nkoma?
no, my eyesight is actually perfect. It's very perfect, because I actually go for tests, and then my eyesight is perfect. It's actually on the eyelids, which where there's an infection. So this thing I feel like it has to do with the skin or on the face.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
So what we're saying is that you have to look at three different aspects of what you're going through. Is your rheumatoid
Hmm.
arthritis, your eyesight, and then of course your iron deficiency as well.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you doing at the moment?
I lost your voice again. I can't actually hear you.
Okay, give me a
I lost
second.
your.
Let's just try that again. I'm saying, how has this affected you, and what are you doing at the moment to actually, should we say, help yourself? Are you working? Are you not able to work because of your situation?
As I said, I completed my studies, and it actually got kind of difficult for me to actually find work or get a job, because I do have qualifications to do actually at least something to find a nice a job to actually take care of myself. But then, because I did hospitality and this has to do with a lot of
Mm.
hygiene, so my condition has put me in a place where now I can't actually enter a kitchen or do something which I do have the skill, but then I can't do it because my condition has affected me up to that stage. So currently I'm not working. I'm actually staying at home. I'm not doing anything because this thing has affected me a lot, to a point where now I feel like there is nothing I can try which can actually bring back something which is good. So currently I'm not doing anything.
Yes. Okay. So I see it is very difficult for you because what it's doing is it's stopping you from moving on in your life. And
Exactly.
what you're saying is that the reason that you've come on the show is you want people to help you and direct you on where you can go to be able to overcome all these things that you are facing in your life and actually move on and try and work and get things going for yourself.
Yes, that's what I'm exactly saying.
Yeah. And how has it made you feel knowing that you've got all these things that, distinctions and all the studying that you've done, but yet now your condition is not allowing you to move forward. So I think it is very difficult.
I'm losing you again. I lost your voice again. I
Okay.
lost your voice again.
I'm so sorry about
Uh-huh.
that. We seem to be having some form of an interruption there in the signal. Um,
Okay.
let's talk about what sort of what do you see yourself wanting to do to be able to move forward? What is it that people can help you with?
Uh, okay. The reason I went out to the people is, if I can actually find someone who can actually help me understand my condition, so that I can actually find ways to know how to deal with my condition. And the other thing is, uh, it's not that I wanted to just do NCV hospitality, but then I also wanted to further my studies in
Mm,
hospitality, like network and all those stuff. But then I could not actually go any further because now my condition has grew more worse. So I do wish that maybe if this condition can at least get uh, much better, to a point where now I can actually go back, further my studies, and then maybe find a job and have a life like everyone else.
I so agree with you there. And then tell us how does it make you feel right now, knowing that you're actually in a zone where you're stuck right now. You can't move forward till you take care of your health and sort out all those particular problems, and that's what's going to help you.
Yes.
Yes,
Uh, you see now, because this thing was now starting to affect me. As I said, it was starting to affect me very, like, it was now growing into the intellectual stage where now I always sat at home thinking about my life, looking at my friends. Like, for example, by now maybe I should be married or something, having a wife, a child, or something. So I always think about all those stuff, and I feel like I'm actually deprived a lot of things in my life. So that's why you see I am actually crying to the people to say, help
yes.
in any way you can, to at least restore my life. Not, it's not only about my health, but then also my life, because I feel like there's a gap which needs a filling.
Mm-hmm. I so
Yes,
agree
yes,
with you there. I think it's a difficult situation because when your health affects you, it stops you from doing a lot of things that you think you could possibly have done during your life. And as you say, it's also affected you from your youth. So I think
yes,
there's that sense of frustration as well to say that this has been going on for so long, and you'd like to now move on with your life and get on with it. And I think
yes,
that's what's the important thing right now.
yes, yes.
Okay, so
That's uh-huh.
yeah, we're going to go for a quick break and then we'll be back with you in a minute.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Love Palestine campaign. Let us stand in solidarity and create an awareness of the plight of the people of Palestine. Support our initiative in providing medical assistance and food security. Donate towards our urgent appeal with your zakat, sadaqah, or lillah. Visit our website www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 572. Penny Appeal, love Palestine. Penny Appeal, small change, big
It's not mine
difference.
either, because mine is on silent. Mine's on silent, so it's not thinking at all. You guys had the aircon on. Ha ha!
Sorry,
I've
guys,
got
it's just on the
worse.
phone. How's it going?
No, it's going fine. The aircon is on.
I switched it off because it's
Oh.
messing up my
So annoying.
sinuses even more.
Oh, okay, no problem.
You don't see my. Can you have gone worse than what I was when I didn't realize the aircon was on when I got
Do you
in.
maybe have Vicks or something?
Yeah, not here.
Not here. Yeah, Vicks works better.
Yeah, I intend going to go and get some, like, just to rub it all over and smell like hell.
Yeah, so it must be on their side.
Listen to me. There's some strange, like, it's interfering with my interview. It's kind of putting us off target there because of base. Every now and again you hear like a cell phone ringing, but it's not my phone because mine's on silent.
I need to say maybe someone around him that has a phone.
So
Because while we're talking,
do the mute thing. So when
no, while we're talking, it's going zzz, zzz.
Yes,
It has to be their side. There's nothing on
with
our
us,
side.
it's all
Yeah, so I
computed.
think maybe you must just tell him that he must just.
Okay.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media.
لا تقل لوحدي أو كيف السبيل.
Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back, and we're in conversation with Nkoma, and Nkoma is talking to us about his serious condition that started at the age of 15 in 2010, and this has affected him in many directions. It's affected his joints through the rheumatoid arthritis, which we know tends to get very bad at, and it's quite progressive, and it stopped him from doing so many things. But besides that, he's also had an iron deficiency problem, and also suffering from should we say, an issue of wanting to move forward, but his health is actually holding him back in many directions. And Kuman, as we were talking, you were telling me that you'd like to lead a healthy life where, a normal life, and also just wanting to go out there and do the things that you wish you could do. So talk to us about the way you feel about that, and what is it that the viewers or the people out there can help you with, so that we can help you get on with your life in a better way. And then Nkoma, are you there on the line? Okay, we seem to have lost Nkoma there for a minute. We'll try and get him back shortly. As he was explaining to us, his situation is quite dire. And I think for anyone listening out there that could possibly reach out to him, I think that's important. Thinking of the type of condition that he's going through, rheumatoid arthritis, as we know, affects your joints in a very bad way. So you can't even really move your joints very much. It's very painful. He has an iron deficiency. And we know that is also very bad in the sense that what it does is it stops you from doing a lot of things because it slows you down. As we know, we need iron in our bodies in order for our oxygen levels to be at the right point, so that we work our bodies work to the best of its ability. But unfortunately, he's been in that situation where he can't seem to move forward due to the types of constraints that he's facing. And he's now come onto the show to reach out to us. And let's see if we got him back on the line, because he's going to tell us a little bit more about what it is. And Nkoma, we lost you there for a minute, but I'm glad that you're back on. What is it that you feel that our listeners and viewers can do for you to help you move forward in your life?
You see, after I went out, like I went to Facebook, a lot of people came. Most people thought maybe I am looking for money or something. I'm not saying I am
Yes.
not willing to accept that. If people are offering, I'll accept that. But this is what I actually need or want right now. It's as I will always emphasize on this. I actually want to see my life back. Like if I can get someone who can actually give me a way, maybe because I do have qualifications, as I said. and then maybe offer a job or something. But then that's not the main part. The main part is to first focus on the health part, where I can get a specialist or something. And if I'll need funding, then I'll go back to the people and ask for funding for that specialist or something. But then in any way which people are willing to help, I am actually available and willing to accept.
Right. So I truly understand your situation. What you're trying to say is that if people can even direct you in the right way to say that these are the people you can go to for your help, and then you'll
Yes.
try and get the funding as well. So we're reaching out to our listeners and our viewers out there and saying, let's try and help Nkoma. If anybody's aware of the fact of someone that can treat rheumatoid arthritis, then and of course iron deficiency as well, is maybe direct him in that way. Nkoma, what we'll do is there a number that people can get a hold of you on?
Yes, there's actually two numbers where they can get hold of me. The first number is 071 739 8008. And then the
Okay.
second number is 073 02 99 151. And then all people can also get hold of me on my Facebook profile, which is Nkoma Admire Mninginisi.
Right. Okay. So I think that's important is maybe basically what you want is the right advice. That's what you're looking for, to be able
Yes.
to get people to tell you what to do and direct you in the right way. And then, of course, and as we know, you know what, if you don't have your health, you really can't do much. So it's nice to
Yes.
see that you're still keeping that positive outlook. It's great to see that happening, because that's the most important thing, is to stay positive, and tell yourself
Yes.
that you are going to get that help out there. And we're praying to the Almighty that He opens your door, and that you do get that necessary help from a health point of view. And then, of course, like you said, you have the qualifications. So it's not like you're sitting there waiting for somebody to give you something. It's you saying that you need help with your health in order to be able to carry on and get a job and start stabilizing your life. That's what you're saying.
Yes, yes, exactly.
I understand fully what you're telling me. Tell me, how has your family reacted to the whole situation? What sort of support structure have they given you?
I mentioned back that I was actually back home. So my parents even went to an extent to actually take me, like move me from back in Limpopo to come this side, because they realized that this issue is actually growing and growing. And from that time
Right.
which I've been this side, my parents have been so supportive. They've been trying all their best. For example, my father is just a taxi driver, but then he tried by all means to actually provide for my needs and
Uh-huh.
take me to school and all those stuff and all those doctors and everything, because he really wanted to see me make it. Because I remember there
Right.
was this other, he told me, he said his only wish is to actually die. Before he dies, is to actually see me being able to actually provide for myself. He says if he ever dies with me having that being able to provide for myself, he will die a happy man. So that's one of the things which actually break my heart to say, actually my father has these wishes about his son, and I'm actually failing to fulfill. You see, by now he was supposed to be having maybe a grandson or something, but then those things are not happening. I can't actually see progress in my life.
Right. Yes,
Yes.
I understand your situation. How do you see yourself moving forward? What is it that you see yourself doing in the future once people have helped you and directed you as far as your health goes?
You see, as after posting on social media, it's not only people who came to support me. There are also people who came to show me their situation, to say you are not the only one. We are also out here, and those
Right.
people, they actually to say it's not that they don't want to come out, but then they feel that maybe like I became a voice for them to be heard, so that maybe like it's in a way of creating awareness that there are people
Yes.
out there who are facing situations. It's not that they can't be able to have a life or get a job or something, but then it's just a matter of presenting those opportunities to them, so that at least they can actually afford to live life like anyone else. So now I can see that I was actually coming out in a manner of seeking help, but then in some way I've like now started creating a movement of trying to emphasize on awareness. So I wish that people can actually learn from this, and people can have all their hearts to actually think about those people and try to actually present opportunities to them, not me only. Yes.
Yes, I think it's a phenomenal thing that you're doing, because you've become a role model now to others, a leader, to say that
Yes.
you, with the situation that you're in, you are not going to only just help yourself, but you're reaching
Mhm.
out to be able to help others, on that situation. And we have a pic of you when you were younger. Do you mind if we put it up?
No,
There
not
we
a
go.
problem. You can put it out.
That was uh, the way Nkoma looked when he was younger. And this is
Mhm.
where he's at right now with his rheumatoid arthritis. So that's why we were reaching out to people out there who have the knowledge to say, let's go out there and let's make a difference in Nkoma's life. And not just in Nkoma. And Nkoma himself, as he says, has become a leader to so many others that are in your situation. And you try to help them as well. So what you're saying is that if you get the help out there, you in turn will
Yes.
go and try and help those other people that have been in your situation as well. And how old were you when that picture was taken in Nkoma?
At that I was 15 years old. It was in 2010.
Oh, okay. That was the picture
This
that
one,
we
this one,
spoke about of your age. Okay. So that's in
yes,
Nkoma when he was 15 years old. That's in Nkoma today. What we're saying is, it's imperative for us as people out there to be able to follow our purposes and help people that are in situations like Nkoma finds himself today. And we're saying whoever's out there listening that can reach out there to Nkoma and all those many others that are going through this particular issue, by even just giving them the advice, I think is going to make such a difference in your life. And I think that's what it's all about, is you wanting to help yourself so you in turn can go and help those others that are in a similar situation to what you're in.
yes, exactly. That's exactly what that's what I see myself doing going forward.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yes,
No, I so understand what you're saying, but I think God has also given you a purpose in Koma. Because you're in this situation, you have now become a leader for others to
yes,
look at you as a role model and say, Nkoma hasn't given up. He's been positive, and we're going to be doing the same thing. But you're also trying to go and help them at the same time, which I think is absolutely amazing. So we want to commend you on that and on your positivity as well, because I'm sure what you're going through is not an easy situation.
yes. I really appreciate, and I really thank you for this opportunity to actually share my journey and what I actually desire to be in the future.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's all about, is for us to be able to help people that are in situations like yourself and try and get others to reach out to you so that you can better your life and better the lives of others as well. And that's what it's about.
Yes.
What message would you like to leave our viewers with this morning?
My message will go to both people who are actually willing to help and people who are actually seeking for help like me. I will start with the people who are actually out there willing to help. Uh,
Mm,
I want to actually assure people that helping me is not actually throwing or going to waste. By helping me, they are actually helping many more other people before me or after who will come after me, because as I said, I feel like this is a movement which has to be actually well considered and well practiced. So, to those people, I would really appreciate if you come with any help, and I see myself back to my normal state. And to anyone who's actually facing a challenge or currently seeking for help, I only have 2 words or 3 words. I'm just gonna tell them to say, just hang in there and not be afraid to go out to people and try to share your story and then see how they can actually try to help you.
that is so true. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I'm hoping that this has shed some light on the situation that you and most others are facing through rheumatoid arthritis and, of course, iron deficiency. And once again, we're going to, of course, ask people to reach out to you and see if they can help you by even just giving you some form of advice and guidance. But I'm wishing that you nothing but the best going forward. And I'm praying to the Almighty that you get all the help that you require. So thank you for joining us. You are a true inspiration to us here at the studio, especially with your positive mindset. And I think that is a great thing. So just keep that positive mindset going. And we're praying that you get some help out there in some way. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
The pleasure is ours. You take care of yourself. That was Admire Mninginisi, and he's talking to us about his rheumatoid arthritis and what it's done. And if you look at the picture, it is actually, it gets your mind thinking that there's people out there that are going through such issues like this that we could possibly reach out to and make a difference in their lives. And that's what it's all about. We'll be back with you in a moment.